Okay. So I'm just gonna throw the password for level 11 into the chat. So if you, hold on, let's make sure I'm getting the right screen. Okay, can everyone see my Callie?
I can see it.
Okay, great. Okay. So if we remember from last week, we can SSH in. We're going to be on Bandit 11. And here's our host information. bandit.labs.overthewire.org, port 220. Got to enter that password. And we're already in, off to a good start. So the password for the next level is stored in the file data.txt, where all lowercase a to z and uppercase a to z letters have been rotated by 13 positions. Okay. So let's see what we have. So there's our data.txt file. If we cat that out, we get this gibberish. Now, is anyone familiar with ROT13, which is what rotated by 13 means? So that's a cipher. And that means that every letter in the alphabet is rotated by 13 letters. So one way we can get this out of there is we can cat data.txt and then we pipe it, which means we just pass it to another command, translate it. And so the alphabet right now, or the alphabet we would like is A to Z. And then we do capital A to Z because it says it's all lowercase and uppercase. Then we do rotate it 13. So that's going to go N to M. But I'm going to do N to Z first and then A to M because the translation will stop at the end of the alphabet at Z. So we have to start over at A and then tell it to go A to M. And then I'm just going to do the same for the capital letters. N to Z, A to M. Oops. And we get the password is this. Now, if you don't want to do all of that work, there is Cyber Chef, which is very handy dandy. I think I used it last week as well. Oops. Where you can copy it in there. And we say from, actually let's do ROT 13 because it's rotated 13 letters. And we get the same answer. Does anyone have any questions on this level? Nope. Okay, so let's look at 12 to 13. Okay, and I'm going to exit here and SSH Bandit, actually. Okay, and we're in Bandit 12. So the password for the next level is stored in the file data.txt, which is a hex dump of a file that has been repeatedly compressed. For this level, for example, then copy the data file using CP and rename it using move. So read the man pages. Okay, so let's see what we have. So we have our data.txt file. So in order to make the temp file, I'm going to do mkdir, which is short for make directory, tmp to put it in the temp file, and then, oops, I'm just going to make called bgh. So now I need to copy the data.txt file. So I'm going to do cp for copy, data.txt, and the destination. And then let's cd into the tmp bgh file. Just make sure our data.txt file is there, and it is. Any questions so far? Okay. So this has been repeatedly compressed, so we're gonna have to do a lot of unzipping. So we see so we're gonna have to first take it from a hex dump. So if we look at this file, that's what a hex dump will look like. So I'm going to do xxd to take it from to uncompress the hex, to take out the hex. So I'm going to do reverse xxd-r data.txt. And actually, I have to put it in a file. So because it's going to be repeatedly, we're going to be repeatedly unzipping and moving it, I'm going to do it one, and then we can kind of count how many times we're doing this. Okay. So I'll ask to see what I have. I have one. So I'm going to check what type of file this is. Does anyone remember how to check the file type from last week? Okay. So I'm going to do file 1. So it tells me that it's a gzip compressed data. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to type. Let me see. Maybe that might be a Windows command. I'm trying to think, but no worries. So we're going to move, we're going to have to move our gzip file into a .gz file type, so that when we use the gzip to unzip it, it can read that it's a gzip file. So if I try to unzip it right now, oops. It's an unknown suffix. So it doesn't know that it's a file can unzip. So I'm going to do move 1. So this moves files and can rename them. Move 1 to 1.gz. So now I do ls, and you see it's a nice red color that comes in the offset Kali to show that it's a zipped file. So now I do gzip-d 1.gz, and now it's unzipped. So if I look at the file type now, it's bzip2. Any questions so far? Okay. So now let's move our bzip file into a bzip format, or a bzip2 format. So does anyone know what that file suffix looks like? Okay, so this is gonna be, I'm gonna make 2, and it's gonna be bz2. And there it is. So we're gonna do bzip, so it's gonna be the same command, -d to bz2. And we look, let's look at our file type. Now it's gzip again. Okay, so we're gonna move this file into a gzip. And we're gonna gzip dash D for decode. I'm not sure if I said that earlier. So G, and then 3. And let's see our file type here. Now it's tar. So for tar, I'm not quite sure why. Hold on, I have a question in the chat. Okay. So I'm not quite sure why, but for tar, I can just run tar on it. So I do tar dash xvf, and I can't quite recall what these flags mean at the moment, but I can do that 3. And now I get data5.bin. Oh, guess I missed a file. So now we're at 5. So now let's see. Now we have a tar archive again. And I'm just going to do tar dash xvf data5.bin. Now I got data6.bin. Okay, and we'll check the file type. And now we're at bzips. So we're gonna move our data6.bin to do 7.bz2. And then it will do bzip-d 7. Oh, and I missed my 2 here. Okay, and now it's just 7, just clear the screen. And let's check our file type. Now it's POSIX tar, tar-xvf 7. You got a data8.bin. So it's gzip, so we're gonna move the data 8bin to 9.gz. There it is, gzip-d 9.gz. File 9. Oh. And now it's ASCII text, thank God. So that took a while, but now we can cat this file and the password is here. That was a bit of a long one. Do we have any questions on this one? Okay, is everyone keeping up okay? Does anyone need the passwords? Yeah, the Bandit's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's go on to level 13. So I'm gonna exit here and go to 13. Put in the password. Okay, so the password for the next level is stored in Etsy Bandit Pass Bandit 14 and can only be read by user Bandit 14. For this level, you don't get the next password, but you get a private SSH key that can be used to log into the next level. Note, localhost is a host name that refers to the machine you are working on. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So we have a private key. So when we used SSH before, we used it with a password. Now we're going to be using a private key to authenticate into the next level. So we're going to do what we kind of similar to what we did before. So SSH Bandit 14 for the level. And then we're going to do localhost because we're already on the Bandit machine, but we're just switching over to the user -I to indicate the key that we're using a key. And then we're going to put the key in. It's going to ask us, we want to continue. We're going to say yes. And we're already in Bandit 14. Any questions there? Okay. Which level? Okay, I think that should be the password for 13. And if anyone needs anything, let me know. Any more questions? Okay. So now we're on 14. The password for the next level can be retrieved by submitting the password of the current level to port 30,000 on localhost. Okay, so we just saw in our here, so that this is where our password is stored, Etsy bandit _ pass / bandit 14. So we can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cat Etsy bandit pass bandit 14. So I'm catting out the password into preparing to put it into my next command. So I'm going to do a pipe, and then I'm going to use netcat, which is a way to communicate with other systems. I'm going to say localhost because I want to listen on this host on port 30,000. It's enough zeros, yeah. And I get my password. Now there's many different ways you can do this. You can also do, you can do telnet localhost 30,000. And well, I don't need the password. Hold on. And then I still get the password if I do telnet localhost 30,000 and just paste in the password here. Just the two different ways to do it. Any questions on this level? Okay. So this is our new password. Oops. And let's go to level 15. And now we know that we can just SSH in from wherever we are with SSH bandit 15 at localhost. Okay, and now we're at 15. The password for the next level can be retrieved by submitting the password of the current level to port 30,001 on localhost using SSL encryption. So like we were doing before, but we need SSL encryption. So helpful note, getting heart beating and read R block, use IGN_EOF and read the connected command section in the man page next to R and Q. The B command also works in this version of that command. Okay. So if we just wanted to take a look real quick at the man pages for OpenSSL, because that's what we're going to need to create the SSL encryption. And we're going to look for connected commands. Nope. Okay. Let's just do. Somewhere in here, but I'm having some issues finding it. So that's interesting. Okay. But anyway, so the command that we're going to use is OpenSSL as client, which is part of the command. And then we're going to do the flag connect and the IGN, IGN underscore EOF. I'm just going to tell it connect the local host on 3001. Open SSL, client, dash connect. Okay, let me see. Should be right. Okay. See, I always forget the correct format for this is the colon and the port number dash IGN underscore EOF. Okay, and then I should be able to pass in the password, and I get my next password here. One thing is I think I should be able to cat in the password similar to how I did it before and still get the password, just to make it a one-liner. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my password. Does anyone have any questions on any of that? Okay. So let's go on to level 16. And let me just to help, I'll put the password in the chat just in case anyone needs it. Okay. The credentials for the next host can be retrieved by submitting the password of the current level to a port on localhost in the range 31,000 to 32,000. First, find out which of these ports have a server listening on them. Then find out which of those speak SSL and which don't. There's only one server that will give the next credentials. The others will simply send back to you whatever you send to it. Okay. Any ideas on where to start here? No? Okay. So I'm going to start with an Nmap scan. So I can scan all the open ports that I'm looking for. So I'm going to do -A just for some enumeration on localhost because that's the current host. So that's like the 127.0.0.1. I'm just telling it to scan this host, -P to tell it the ports, and then 31,000 to 32,000. It's going to scan for a little bit. So now might be a good time for questions if there's any. Still scanning. Okay, there we go, finally. Okay, so let's look at the ports. We need a port that speaks SSL. So we have SSL echo, open SSL unknown. So then we see something that please enter the correct current password. And then we have 31960, open echo. It says something about password, but it doesn't look like there's SSL here. So it looks like 31790 might be our guy. So we're gonna do what we did similar in the last level, is we're gonna do open SSL s underscore client dash connect localhost 31790. See if I have my password still saved. I do. We have a private key here. So similar, I think, to get to level 14, we had a private key. Now we're getting the actual key here. So let's copy and paste this. And because I believe I can't edit anything here, I'm gonna make another directory in the temp file. Oops. And then I'm gonna cd into this directory. And then I'm gonna create a file. So I'm gonna do vim and paste it in there. Okay, and then I know people are pretty sensitive about their editors, but this is just what I use. And then I'm gonna do escape :WQ. And let's just see. Oops. Oh, I see what I did there. I named the file. So when you name a file, you're supposed to put a name here, and I just copy and pasted the key. So, whoops, but there we go. So there's our file, and if I cat it out, there it is. Interesting. And I'm gonna change the mode on it. So there's read, write, execute. There's read, write, execute, and this we're going to be able to need to read it. We don't need to write to it anymore. We don't need to execute it. But I'm just going to tell it 700, and that'll give me all the permissions. I could do 400 and just give me write permissions, but I'm greedy. So there, and then I'm going to type in this ridiculous file I just named. And then I'm going to let's see. Then I should be able to do this. Bandit 17 localhost -I, and so I like before I did the I used the SSH key to get in with the -I flag. Now some were having problems in the chat. Keeping password denied. Let's go back and watch the session over. What level are you on right now that you're stuck on? Okay, so I'm gonna post the password for this level. So it does get a little tricky because you're copying from that last level, you're copying in the password. I find that sometimes copying in the entirety with a little bit above the key tends to help. I'm not quite sure why. So in case you had a little bit of trouble with that last level, there's the password. Okay. Do we have any questions on that last one? I know that was a little bit all over the place. Nope. Okay. So 17. There are two files in the home directory, passwords.old and passwords.new. The password for the next level is in passwords.new and is the only line that has been changed between passwords.old and passwords.new. Okay. Does anyone have any ideas on how we might solve this? So here, commands you may need to solve this level. We have cat, grep, ls, and diff. So anyone want to take bets on which one we might need here? No. Okay. Sorry, was that someone? No. Okay. So I'm going to do diff because that'll give us the difference of the two files. And we're going to do passwords.new, passwords.old. So I believe this little caret here means this is the first file that needs to be, that's different. And this means the arrow pointing to the right means this is the line in the old file. I believe this 42C42 means this is the 42nd line needs to be changed to the 42nd line. So this needs to be changed to this. And the password for the next level is in the passwords.new. So since this should be our, new file, this is now our password. Any questions on that one? No. Okay. Start looking at the next one. Okay. SSH, Bandit 18 at localhost. Oh, that's interesting. Bye-bye, connection to localhost closed. So looks like we were welcomed, but something went wrong. So let's take a look. Okay, so unfortunately, someone has modified the .bash rc to log you out when you log in with SSH. So seems like our session is closing. It's not staying open. So we have to disable the sudo teletype shell. So I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna do -t for that to disable it. And that'll prevent our session from closing. Okay, so we're in, but it looks a little different from the other levels. And that's probably because we don't have our full shell here. So I can still run the command. So I did ls, I got back readme. So I can cat readme and I get the password here. I'm going to just control this. And since this is a little unstable, I'm just going to go back to the last level and get to level 19 from here. Does anyone have any questions on that? No? Oops, I would have helped if I SSH. Okay, so for level 19, to gain access to the next level, you should use the set UID binary in the home directory. Execute it without arguments to find out how to use it. The password for this level can be found in the usual place after you've used the set UID binary. Okay, so the set UID binary, that we can run the in exe executable file with the file system permissions of an owner or the group. So it'd be like we are the owner of a group of this file. So let's see what we have here. So we have bandit 20-do. Let's just double check so that it's an executable. It's ELF executable. Now it says run it to see how to use it. So let's run it. We run it by saying dot because it's in this file directory. So if it was, excuse me, if it was in a different directory, you might be able to give it the dot if it was like 2 up. So do dot and the slash because it's executable, and hit enter. So run a command as another user. Example dot / bandit 20-do ID. So let's just, doesn't really tell us much, but let's try doing what this example shows us. Okay, so it gives us the user ID of bandit 19, group ID bandit 19, UID bandit 20, groups bandit 19. Okay. So it looks like after the executable, we should be supplying it with one of these passwords for bandit 19 or bandit 20. But one quick way to just kind of try this executable with every password is to do that, to do the executable. And then I'm just going to cat all of the passwords into it by, instead of giving it a level, I'm going to do it with a star. And that's going to be a wildcard. So it's going to match anything that starts with bandit in the etc bandit pass folder. So the only one that works here, it looks like, is the one for level 20. Everyone else was denied because that wasn't the incorrect password. So I'm going to pull this and use that to get to level 20. Does anyone have any questions on that? Okay, so let's move on to level 20, our last one for tonight. Forgetting my SSH, I guess I'm just a little tired. Okay. There's a set UID binary in the home directory that does the following. It makes a connection to localhost on the port you specify as a command line argument. It then reads a line of text from the connection and compares it to the password in the previous level, bandit 20. If the password is correct, it will transmit the password for the next level. Okay, so I'm gonna have to pass in the password from level 20 to get the password for level 21. But let's take a look. So I have su connect, just double check this file, type, and executable. So let's just run su connect, see what we get. So it needs to be run usage.su connect with a port number. This program will connect to the given port on localhost using TCP. If it receives the correct password from the other side, the next password is transmitted back. Okay, so let's try, see what happens if we connect 337. So we need, there's nothing that's connected. So if you, it's kind of we're going to be making like a reverse shell type of thing. So to start, let's, I think I can echo the password from level 20. And I'm going to use netcat to start a listener. So I'm going to give it with the flags -L to listen, V for verbose, and then P because I'm going to tell it the port. I'm going to choose 1337 for lead speak, I guess. And then I'm going to put it with an ampersand because that means that it's kind of background the process. So I can continue to use this so I can make the other end of the connection in this same window. So it might sound a little confusing, but let's see. So it started, it's listening. So now I'm going to try to connect SU connect on port 1137. It doesn't match the current password. Interesting. Let me try catting that out first. Oh, I might have to actually put in the password for this one. Ah, there we go. So I had to cat it out, not echo. Sorry. Okay, so the password matches, sending the next password. And here we get our password to get into level 21. Okay, so does anyone have any questions on any of that, what we just did? Did I go answer everyone's questions so far? Nothing? Okay, so that's it for tonight. And I will see everyone next week. Let me know if you have any questions in Slack or anything. Thanks for coming tonight. No problem. Take care, guys. Bye.